Hey everybody, it's Mario. I'm up here on the upper deck, the newly constructed deck. We're finally getting things cleared up and cleaned off. And I decided to come up here to do this message. Man, well, first of all, let me tell you guys, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for the birthday wishes. You know, that's one of the phenomenal things about Facebook. I mean, people can talk about a bunch of stuff that they don't like. But one of the things that I have to admit really seduced me was those birthday wishes. You know, because I'm a kind of an old curmudgeon. It's not that I don't like birthdays. I had a wonderful growing up with birthdays. I woke up to the smell of my mom cooking my favorite breakfast. We had cake and ice cream. We just didn't do the whole big time gift thing. But I had wonderful birthdays growing up. My mom would take me to get my favorite cake, and I'd pick it all out. And so, just the whole commercialization kind of got me being an ogre about birthdays. So I was like not celebrating them, you know. And then on Facebook, when you get all those birthday wishes, I mean, how could you not appreciate that? So I want to thank everybody for those. Birthdays are important because of how they make us feel. And when you think about it, the birthdays that are celebrated on Facebook, there's no gift other than a well-wishing. And isn't it amazing just how good those well-wishings can make us feel? So I want to thank you guys for all the birthday wishes from my family, from my friends, from all the folks who never met me, who only know me from social media. For all of you, I want you to know that I appreciate every last one of them, every last one of those birthday wishes, and that you all actually made the day for an old man. So thank you. Thank you so much. I want this to be a learning video. See, I want this to be a learning video. You say, well, Mario, why? Well, that gets it even to the whole bigger picture, why even do internet television? Internet television, social media, the ability to capture an audience worldwide. That's why I do this. It's not really for me, it's to actually educate others. Those of us who traditionally have not had access to these kinds of broadcasting platforms. To me, this has been the greatest leveling of the playing field in my lifetime, what you can do with internet television. So some of you who know me know that I've been beating that drum for a while. But that's why I do this. I don't do this so, well, let's put it like this. Victor and I didn't want to broadcast and create media, but we had to. I thought it was just enough that you could broadcast worldwide for almost nothing. I thought that we should be, beating the drum, setting off the fireworks for that. But it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. We had to make content. And that's where it still sits today. We have to make content. But the whole point to me is to get our citizenry, including you, creative artists, political activists, community organizers, to get all of them to have an internet television channel as a way of communication. I actually have been proposing for years that every school should have an internet television channel, just like they used to have the school newspaper back in my day, and that it could be entirely run by the students. Entirely run by the students. So those are the things that have been important to me as I've gotten on in age. I wanted to do the broadcast channels for the schools, and also I have dreams of creating the greatest band camp that's ever existed, even though it's not really just for band people, it's just for creative people or people just in general. So those are the kind of things I have left. I don't have a lot of other stuff to accomplish for Mario. I've just done a lot of stuff. I've done a lot of stuff, you guys. 30 years of medicine, pediatric intensivist for Kaiser. I was faculty at USC. You know, I've had 9 CD releases. I'm on iTunes. I'm on Amazon. That's enough stuff. It's enough stuff. Okay, and it's been a happy journey. I don't have anybody I'm angry at. I don't think anyone's really angry with me. There may be a couple of ladies that feel a little pissed off, but I really, for the most part, don't know them. Most of the people I've ever interacted are still my friends. Even the women I've dated are my friends, for the most part. So as I get to this later on in year stage, it's important to give you this history, because I just turned 66. Like I said, I thank you all for the birthday wishes. I appreciate all of that. But you know, for me, it's interesting. Like Vic says, if you were 66, would you celebrate a birthday? See, so a bunch of people say yeah, and a bunch of people say no. I know what you mean. Hey, it's certainly you don't celebrate it like you would when you were 26. Okay, but like I said, I want this to matter, and I gave you that history because I wanted you to get a good look at me to see that I wasn't somehow, you know, falling apart at the age of 66. There was essentially no signs of that. And I just had my own personal crisis. Birthdays. So my birthday, turning 66, initiated for me kind of a major depressive episode. Now, people say, what does that mean? Well, people, and this is very common, people who have depression issues often have increased problems around holidays, their birthdays, hot family gatherings. And so I had an excessive depressive episode. I just get really dark, and I basically slept for 3 days. Okay. Didn't talk on the phone, didn't communicate, didn't do any, you know, just sort of zoned out. Now, when you have a depressive episode like that, it's almost like you're overwhelmed. I kind of compare it to a car whose gas tank is empty. And let's just say it takes energy to interact with the world, with people. It takes energy to get up and face the day, take a shower, get yourself together. And if you have no fuel in your tank, you can't do any of those things. You can't get up. You can't fix breakfast. You can't shower. You can't do now. People say, well, why? Well, you have to understand depression is not a logical. It's not a logical thing. It's a disease. It's a disease. And I used to be worse. For years, I would disappear at the holidays and certain things, and they would say, oh, that's Robbie, he's just being himself. No, I had a depression problem. And people do. I want to remind you that when people you know kind of ghost you or whatever, usually it's because they're having some kind of an emotional crisis. They're depressed. Luckily, I have a great support system in my mother and friends, people who look after me, family and friends. And so that helps. That's always helped to get me through it, you know. And the ones that have comforted me most are the ones who, my cousin Thornton, I gotta tell you, he's one of the people that, like, when I go into the dark zone, when I come out of it, he's just like right there like it never happened. Hey man, what's happening? It's just like it didn't happen. And has been a great resource for me, because when you come out of these things, you have to explain to people where you've been or not. And so it helps for those people who understand without you having to explain. So I had a recent birthday. I turned 66 and I slept for 3 days. I took an extra pill. And after 3 days, I slowly began to feel normal. I can't even tell you how that sort of feels. It's like it's like having a cramp slowly wear off. You just slowly return to normal. And then you become normal, hopefully. The truth is, these kinds of problems, these types of emotional illnesses are legion. They are everywhere. They're at every one of you are dealing with it. And so I think the best thing is for all of us to learn how to be supportive and recognize the signs. Recognize the signs for people who have the milder forms of the disease. I guess that's what I have. I haven't had any desires to do anything like you're seeing on TV. But a lot of people who are caught up and alone, their world is shrinking, and their ability to make logical decisions is wearing away. That's part of the problem we have in today's world. Anyway, it was my recent birthday. I want to thank you again. I was hiding out, as I usually do, and now I'm back again. Blessings. It's Mario. I'm up here on the deck. You guys, it's great to be in Southern California at this time. For all of you who are dealing with this heat wave, I say, God bless you. As it turns out, the heat wave is a bigger deal than people are making of. People are dying. As it turns out, of course, people of color, people who are lacking in the resources, people who are barely making it anyway, are having a hard time dealing with this heat wave. They're burning up. Keep that in mind as we enjoy what appears to be a good holiday time. A bunch of us are burning up. Some places they are talking about it's 115 degrees inside the house. Inside the house. Some parts of the world, people are cooking on the roofs because they can't deal with the heat. Can you imagine that? And can you imagine the impact on the children too? I'm Mario Hemsley just saying. I'm up here reflecting, and it suddenly occurred to me, it's great to have resources where we don't have to deal with the absolute effects of climate change right now. Because people are. People are dealing with the effects of climate change right now. And one of them, if you look around the world, a lot of places, they are burning up. They are really burning up. Mario Hemsley in Los Angeles, California, just reflecting on the blessings right in front of us.